with David Dunn. He's a professor of international politics at the University of Birmingham. Professor, thanks so much for speaking to us. So another week, another Donald Trump trial. How damaging is this for the former US president?
Well, it's very interesting that Trump has decided to actually turn up in New York for this hearing, even though he isn't required to be there, because rather than actually this being damaging to him, he sees advantage in being there and defending this in person, and actually putting together this idea that he is being politically persecuted by the US Justice Department. So in a sense, actually, the fact that it comes on on top of the 4 other court cases in 4 other criminal jurisdictions, the 91 criminal charges that he faces, he sees this as evidence of a political attempt to try and bar him from the race. So to his supporters, they see this as evidence of a liberal state, New York, going after Trump because they can't defeat him politically. So rather than actually, in most cases, an indictment, criminal charges, clear evidence of lying and fraud, which this case hopes to portray, Trump sees this as an opportunity for political advantage.
Political advantage, and to defend himself, he doesn't believe he's done anything wrong in any of the cases that are against him. And I would imagine that he will be appealing to his supporters, going through the same rhetoric that he has with everything else, that this is a political witch hunt against him, and using this very much as possibly electioneering ahead of next year's elections.
Oh, completely. So when Trump was indicted in Georgia and that mugshot of him, that practiced stern look appeared, that was his biggest funding day to date. So he uses this as a way of making money. And so there have been campaign calls gone out ahead of him appearing in New York today. So it's about fundraising, but it's also about actually making the persecution or the alleged persecution of Donald Trump the issue for the campaign. He doesn't want to talk about the issues. He doesn't want to talk about his record, his failure on immigration, his withdrawal from the Paris Climate Treaty, or indeed his failure to actually stop Iran advancing towards a nuclear capability, or indeed any of the domestic issues that were at play, COVID and the like, when he was president. He doesn't want to talk about his agenda for the next presidential term in office. Instead, what he wants to talk about is himself being the victim of these so-called witch hunts. And to his base, that's a simpler message. It's a more straightforward message. It's in line with Trump the showman, Trump the entertainer, Trump the performer, rather than actually Trump the serious politician, which of course he is not. So it's a part of that performative nature that American politics has become, the melding together of the legal campaign with the political campaign, that the trial of him for his criminal and commercial alleged wrongdoings has become fused with the political campaign, where he actually presents himself as the victim and as the means to actually achieve the ends of ending this victimhood by becoming president.
Yeah. Professor, just very quickly, if you're an undecided voter right now in the US, you're looking at Trump, he's got all these legal woes. Then you've got Biden, whose son is embroiled in legal controversy as well. Doesn't this make it difficult for you as a voter to trust the politicians that you have to choose from to lead the country?
Well, certainly that's the narrative that the Republicans are spinning, that they talk about the travails of Hunter Biden, and Trump talks about the Biden crime family. But there's a huge difference to someone who has been alleged of trying to overthrow the democratic process and supporting rioters and committing huge fraud in New York and elsewhere, and hanging on to highly classified documents that are criminal trials in 4 jurisdictions, and the whole basis of the man's notoriety, his business career and his business empire, was built on lies and fraud, and the alleged crimes not against Joe Biden, but actually against his son for potentially owning a firearm while disqualified from doing so. So there's a huge difference in that. And to conflate the two, I think it just shows a massive failure of justice on those who are confused about the terms of the very different nature of the alleged crimes involved.
Professor David Dunn, live to us there from Birmingham. Really good to get your thoughts and analysis. Thanks very much.